Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast NFL edition. Today we're going to be giving a talk about week 7 in the NFL and talking about, the usual winners, losers, preview some big games and things that's been going on in the league. We got the NFL expert, the head producer of the L7C, Justin Akadel. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. I'll be feeling a lot better if the fucking Bills could beat the Patriots this week, though. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That shit broke me. It broke me.
Every
Fuck my
time.
whole teaser up. Fuck my whole teaser up. I took all the underdogs that didn't already bet on, and then fucking I was like, Patriots been so shitty these past couple of weeks. Buffalo can cover 1.5. They definitely won't beat these niggas. And oh my god.
Every time. It's the cycle. Bills expectations are winning the Super Bowl. This, that. They get upset. Oh, it's all right. Back to winning Super Bowl, and then they lose, and you're like, are the Bills really as good as we thought? And then they'll lose sometime in the playoff and not reach the Super Bowl.
We still got time, but fucking Sunday was a bad one. They started coming back when they realized, like, oh shit, we really might fucking lose this game. And Josh Allen started getting it together, but Mac Jones fucking turned back the clock. He actually was a decent quarterback this week. That was the difference in that game.
And got Bill Belichick his 300th win, third all time. So he's 28 away from Shula. So, but it also stings too for them because that's the AFC East opponent you took that L to.
Yeah. Division games are tough. Division games are hard. Like, that should be happening sometimes, but
I know. NFL is the epitome of week to week, but it's like, you're telling me the same team I've just saw for the past 2 weeks almost give up 100 points, just beat the Buffalo Bills?
I know, but hey, Bill had to show some pride, and Mac Jones, he had to show some pride because the way he was playing the past month, oh my lord, like
bad.
Yeah, he was playing his way out the league, so yeah, he needs something positive to happen for himself for sure for that one.
Well, Bills will bounce back. They have a Thursday night game against the Bucks. They should be in theory. Okay, but enough about them screwing everybody over losing to the weak Patriots. Justin, where were some of the big games that happened this week?
We'll start with the Sunday night game from this past Sunday. Eagles, Dolphins at Eagles. Eagles won the game 31-7, and you knew exactly what the Eagles were trying to do from the beginning of the game. Their first drive, they're going to try to play keep away from the Dolphins. Dolphins did get the first Eagles drive lasted 7 minutes, so took 7 minutes off the clock. The Dolphins get a field goal later in the first quarter to tie the game up at 3-3. About 3 minutes left in the half, the Eagles scored their second touchdown of that quarter to go up 17-3. And then with about 3 minutes left in the first half of the game, the Dolphins put together their best offensive drive of the game. Tua caps off with 27-yard touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill to make it a 7-point game, 17-10 going in the halftime. Late in the third quarter, Jalen Hurts throws a pick six, pretty bad one, to tie the game up 17-7 now. But before that pick six happened, Miami was driving, and that's the face mask call that should have been called. So whatever. But the drive after the pick six, AJ Brown gets a 14-yard touchdown. He was fucking going off in this game. AJ Brown.
Past couple of games, he's been absurd.
Oh, it's been like 125 passing yards for like 5 straight games now. 15 targets, 10 receptions, 137 yards. That touchdown I just talked about. Tua throws a pick in the red zone, and look after that drive, after the touchdown, Dolphins get down in the red zone. Tua throws a pick, and it looked like the receivers fucked up there because there was 2 people in that area. And then the Eagles get the ball back with 11:21 left in the fourth quarter. And the Eagles milk 6.5 minutes off the clock, convert 2 fourth downs with the brotherly shove. I ain't gonna call that shit the tush push. That shit is a little spicy for me, a little too zesty for me to be saying. But yeah, they take off 6.5 minutes, convert a couple fourth downs. Dolphins get the ball back with 1 timeout left, and then they proceed to throw an 8-yard pass to Waddle. Tua takes 2 sacks. They call a timeout, and an incomplete pass to Tyreek Hill, and the game is over. Defense for the Eagles really showed up. Like I said, Miami's offense only scored one offensive touchdown the whole entire game.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles held the ball for 36 plus minutes of the game, so their game plan worked. Miami did not have a lot of possessions to even try to make up that point. And let's say, oh yeah, and the Eagles played a clean game. They had no penalties. The Dolphins had 10 penalties for 70 yards, and this is now the second time the Dolphins playing, a step up in competition and getting absolutely the doors beaten off them.
Yeah, I think with this game, Eagles coming off that terrible loss last week, they just reminded the NFL, hey, we're still the reigning defending NFC champions.
Yeah,
I mean, they that defense they were on a mission.
Absolutely. Hassan Reddick had a great game. Jalen Carter, those guys in the middle, they were eating up the run. Miami couldn't run the ball, which did not help them at all. Yeah, the Eagles are just, the Eagles have their identity. They're just a tough football team, long drives, and we're going to punch you in the mouth. We want to go for it on fourth down and just push Jalen Hurts across to get first downs. Like, he's a tough-ass football team, and they really showed that on Sunday night.
Man. And then another team who this game was maybe the wildest of the week, the Ohio's Cleveland Browns at the Indianapolis Colts. Justin, this game was crazy.
Like I said in the notes, fun game, drunk game, but it was fun. Two teams get off the gate. They scoring. Jerome Ford on the Browns' first drive, 69-yard touchdown pass. The next drive, Minshew hits a 59-yard touchdown pass to Josh Downs. And then on the next Browns drive, fucking Deshaun Watson, the nasty man himself, he throws an interception. Terrible pick. Like, I don't know what the fuck this nigga was looking at. Like, it was not good. Like, not a good pick at all. And then after a couple 3-and-outs, Minshew scores on a 17-yard touchdown run. Minshew was fucking going off this.
Yes, he was.
I don't know. Like,
yes, he was.
I don't know if it was the little black helmets they were wearing or what the fuck. But these niggas were on a mission.
Speaking of helmets, just going back, everyone's talked about them. Philly's uniforms this past Sunday, clean.
Yeah, I did. It was kind of pissing me off hearing them talk about it all goddamn day, but then like watching the game though, I saw the shit. I'm like, that Kelly Green kind of nice. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm a Cowboys fan. I hate the Eagles, but that shit was kind of nice. Oh shit! So yeah, Minshew scores a 17-yard touchdown run. It's 14-7, and then after this, the next Browns drive, fucking, it looks like Deshaun Watson throws another damn pick, and this throw was worse than the fucking last one.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets pushed, and his head smacks the back of the turf, so he goes into a tip for concussion protocol at that point. So it's PJ Walker time. Colts next drive, Myles Garrett gets a sack, and the Browns recover it. Then PJ Walker's in the game, hands it off to Kareem Hunt for a 2-yard touchdown. We're tied. And then second quarter runs down, and then the Colts try a 60-yard field goal, and Myles Garrett literally jumps over the fucking offensive line to block this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the second quarter, Myles Garrett just started fucking putting the Browns absolutely on his back. Then with about 2 minutes left in the second quarter, Myles Garrett sacks Minshew again. He fumbles in the end zone. The Browns jump on it to go up 24-21. And then Browns getting their field goal for halftime. It's 27-21. Early in the third, Denzel Ward gets a pick that leads to a Browns field goal. It's 30-21, so it looks like the Browns are really about to put it on the Colts at this point. Then Minshew wakes back up, gets the Colts back down to the end zone. Jonathan Taylor scores on a 5-yard touchdown run. It's 33-28. Then with about 6 minutes left in the game, we're in the fourth quarter now. Browns kick another field goal to go up 33-31. Next Colts drive, Minshew hits a 75-yard bomb to Michael Pittman Jr. It's 38-33. And then after 2 3-and-outs, Walker gets up there, gets him down the field, gives it to Hunt at the goal line. They score a touchdown. Game's over, and then Minshew fumbles at the end of the game, and that actually sealed it. The Browns gave up 156 yards on the game, the mighty Browns defense, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, I mean, but they got 4 turnovers. They got 4 turnovers and they got points off those turnovers, so that's what really ended up turning the game. Those 4 turnovers, if the defense doesn't get those 4 turnovers, the Browns probably get blown out. The real reason why I even put this game like in the recap because how fucking bad Deshaun Watson has been. Like Cleveland has a Deshaun Watson problem now because after last week watching PJ Walker beat the 49ers and then seeing him today, he's been better than Deshaun Watson has been. And it's not even close at this point. Watson signed last year before his season started a $230 million guaranteed contract before the season, and the Browns cannot get out this shit at least for the next 3 seasons. If they try to cut him next year in 2024, that's $200 million in dead cap. 2025, if they try to cut him, $137 million in dead cap, and then 2026, if they try to cut him, $73 million. So they're fucking stuck with this nigga. And he has not been playing well, and they might have a fucking QB problem in Cleveland. And so like, it's such a damn shame because this Browns team is good, and the only question mark that I really see with them is the quarterback. And you pay Deshaun Watson all this money, you would think that that would not be the question mark of the team. The man you just paid $230 million to, guaranteed, all of it.
Yeah. Well, there's how many teams are in the NFL, Justin?
32.
There's 31 owners laughing at the Browns right now. That's why you gave a fully guaranteed contract to a QB and you have not gotten anything from him to what you wanted. You pay that money, you're expecting Super Bowls, not can't even finish regular seasons.
I mean, he cleared concussion protocol too. Stefanski just didn't let him come back in the game, or he sat out. I don't know. He was coming off a shoulder injury. That's why he didn't play against the 49ers. But he cleared concussion protocol in that game, and he did not come back. And I didn't think he gave him the best chance to win at that point in the game to begin with after those 2 terrible interceptions. I know the second one, the Colts defender dropped it, but it was bad. Like, he's not seeing the field correctly. They tried to pay him for what he's done in Houston, and then after he went through this little ordeal, he just ain't the same dude. Like, they just didn't like. I guess they didn't take into account how his mental will be after going through all that shit, and like how that will translate to him like being good on the football field.
Yeah. Well, like you said, they're stuck with him. There's nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing. Even if he's not even giving you the best chance to win, it doesn't matter. You have to start him because you're not paying someone to sit on the bench for $230 million fully guaranteed dollars. It's just not happening. They got if not the best defense in the NFL. Even with Chubb, who's out, like Kareem Hunt, their offensive weapons are fine. Like, this is a really good team, like you said, and they're going to be. I'm interested to see what they're going to do against Seattle next week, because that's another pretty good team who played Cincinnati down to the wire last time. So Watson's going to have a big game sooner. Like, he needs a 4 TD 0 pick game.
I mean, who the hell the Browns played before the 49ers? Like, he looked good in that game later, but then he got hurt and then he came back and looked sluggish again. Like, it just ain't going to get the fucking job done.
Yeah,
the way he's been playing, and it's not like the offensive line is bad. It's not like the weapons are bad. It is him not seeing the field and not doing his part in all this.
So before the 49ers, they got killed by the Ravens. It was the game against Tennessee where he threw
Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee, he was looking good.
Yeah, and then obviously they lost to the Steelers. That game was bad.
That game was horrible.
Then their first game of the year, they smoked the Bengals.
The Steelers game, he was melting down. Like,
oh yeah,
that was the game when he was like getting face masks and personal fouls and shit as a quarterback, which is always crazy to see.
So wow, with the Browns, I mean, I don't know. Like, you have no choice. It's just like college football with these coaches. If you ain't paying the buyout, you have no choice.
You can't fucking trade him. No one's going to take him.
Absolutely not. He's got to get it together, man. He has got to get it together.
I mean, Michael Vick went to fucking jail, and he fucking came back looking better than this. I know he had Andy Reid as his coach, but like, goddamn it, nigga was in the fucking box, and looked like he ain't missed a beat when he got on the Eagles. I'm just saying, like, this shit's ridiculous.
I feel like that's all. This ain't the new age, Justin. This ain't the old school players. This the new group.
Like, you brought this shit upon yourself. You have to be a nasty, horny nigga, bro. Like, I'm about to get mad, bro. Next game.
Next game was Monday night, and God, any given week, huh? Who had the Vikings beating the 49ers?
I didn't before the game, but fucking after the Vikings got that touchdown, I'm like, oh, Kurt came to play. That is Monday night fucking Kirk.
Oh boy.
Monday night Kirk against the 49ers. He was going off. He was going off 35 for 45, 370 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Addison, 7 receptions, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kirk wasn't sacked, which is crazy because it's the 49ers defensive line. He threw a pick on the first drive, and then he played one of the best games I've ever seen him play.
C-Mac fumbled prime time especially.
Yeah, prime time Kirk. The whole world watched Kirk Cousins light the 49ers up, and then we get to end the game. I mean, Debo and Trent Williams were out, which didn't really help things for Brock Purdy. But yeah, in the fourth quarter, Brock Purdy threw those 2 picks, and that was the end of the game. It was just a great performance for the Vikings. Like I honestly was shocked at how well Kirk Cousins was playing. Down Justin Jefferson.
Hawkinson got hurt.
Yeah, but he had a good game though.
Yeah, he still came, but it's just like still like
he finished the game, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, but it's just the fact that he was down, and then like, but you're right. I mean, with the Vikings, because all this talk, which I don't know if this was on the trade deadline, is actually next Tuesday on Halloween. So all this talk about Kirk Cousins getting traded to this place, with them beating the 49ers, I mean, they're still in the mix.
Yeah.
For a wild card spot. Like, there's still a lot of football left, but if you can hang above water, get Jefferson back, like.
Yeah, but here's what everyone was saying all day today. Yeah, Kirk Cousins plays the best game of his life. Y'all gotta trade him now. And then from like the Minnesota perspective, you already know the ceiling with Kirk Cousins. You know you ain't gonna win no fucking Super Bowl with him. So they're saying Minnesota should trade him, bottom out, and then draft one of these new kids in the 2024 QB draft class. You know, I like Kirk. I don't know if he can win a Super Bowl, but I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't fucking help a team out in that way.
I wouldn't either, because what if you do that and then everyone else wants out? What if Jefferson's like, I want out? Because he never signed his extension yet, so
he's still under his rookie contract. He's about to get fucking paid. He ain't going nowhere.
Well, he can get paid somewhere else. So he could force his way out now. These players now, hey, some of these people now are trying to try and get NBA routes.
No. And then if the Vikings really bottom out and got Caleb Williams or Drake May or something, you think he'll want out?
No.
And then who can afford to pay him best receiver in the league money who's good? Who's going to do that? I don't see the Chiefs doing that. The Eagles aren't going to do that shit.
They wouldn't. They didn't pay Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, the Bills won't have the cash to do that shit.
Well, the Bills season, their careers are about to be, well, not careers, their window's about to close in 2 years because of money. So it just is. Oh, it's weird because when I hear that type of stuff, I laugh because all those same people call Andy Reid a genius for they didn't just up and get rid of Alex Smith when they drafted Patrick Mahomes. No, Alex Smith and Kirk Cousins are almost the same thing, that you knew what you were getting with Alex. Alex was a perennial, like they were in the playoffs a lot with Kansas City. They just couldn't get over the hump. They drafted Patrick 10th, He sat most of that year until the final couple games. Then the transition happened, and here we are.
Yeah, that is 1,000% true. I can't think of a team who's intentionally through a season and got a quarterback who was like really like life changing like that, like
Mm-hmm.
franchise changing like that. The Jaguars got Trevor Lawrence. They already sucked. They weren't trying to be shitty. They just were.
Yes.
Houston, they got C.J. Stroud. The jury's still out, but he's been playing really well.
The only reason they got CJ Stroud is because Deshaun left. If Deshaun
Yeah,
left, they were a perennial playoff team.
yeah, and Deshaun left, so they bottom out not by choice.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Arizona sucked, and they booted Josh Rosen out the door and got Kyler Murray.
Yeah, because they got Cliffy Kingsbury as well, and Cardinals are sitting 1-6 right now. And it's weird because I don't understand why then they're not saying this type of logic. Well, because they want Super Bowl, but still he's old for like the Rams. Because the Rams are going to get a pick this year, don't they? Or they don't get one until 2027.
No, they got. I think they have their first round pick now.
Yeah, so it's like, why wouldn't they also? They're getting to that place where Stafford's not going to get any better than he was that Super Bowl year. You don't have that same team. You went all in. Everyone's gone. Contracts. You're going to have to start looking to start over. But they're not going to bottom out. They're 3-4.
No, but the people who say this will probably say the same type of thing with the Rams. They should trade Stafford and start looking to the future now.
The
But
only team I could say that with the 3-4 record would be like Washington.
I think the Patriots should not try to win anymore.
Well, you can't. Well, I understand not trying to win, but we really can't say because these are people's mortgages.
Yeah, I know, but I would keep putting Mac Jones. Let me rephrase that. I would keep putting Mac Jones out there and let him do what he does typically on a week to week basis. And if we suck at the end of the year, we will draft someone else. That's what I mean.
Because, just like you said too, the jury's still out on our guy CJ, but the NFL, they are not patient with the rookie quarterbacks anymore. If CJ has a good finishes this year good, and then the next 2 years are ass, he's out.
That's true, but hopefully the team will build something and help him out at
Hopefully,
that
but
point.
you're on 3-year windows now, maximum as a rookie quarterback.
I don't know if you show something in your rookie year and then they start fucking up, then you might have another job somewhere else.
That's true.
Someone might see that.
You could have a job somewhere else, but I'm talking about like that starting, have that chance to get that big contract. Nah, it's curtains. Especially if no one else believes in you.
Yeah.
Like Justin Fields, he's getting his ass shipped out of Chicago. And that's going to be unfortunate, but it's just.
I mean, yeah, he hasn't won enough.
Yeah. He showed a lot of talent, though.
Yeah, he has, but the Bears ain't about to wait for him.
No.
They ain't about to wait for him to do good. They're not going to probably bring in the coach that he needs to actually unlock his true potential.
No, they're not going to wait. They're going to, and that's how these teams get in a pattern. That's why it's so. I understand you try. You got to get the right quarterback, and then you got to, like you said, get a coach, build around him. If you only get a quarterback and you don't build around him, you're screwed. Like I was just thinking about this today. How everyone, Patrick's the best quarterback in the league. If this organization wasn't fucking stupid, this would be Tom and Peyton 2.0. If the stupid Indianapolis Colts protected Andrew Luck, it would be Patrick and Andrew Luck because Andrew Luck was him. And before that was even a saying back then. He was taking that raggedy ass team to the AFC Championship games before old Tom Brady became super old.
Yeah, I just think the media that I was watching before, they try to make the NFL into the NBA.
Yeah,
and
that ain't it.
That is just not how this shit works.
Well, the NBA doesn't want to be the NBA anymore. That's why they're having rules on shit now.
True, but I feel like you do have to be aggressive in the NFL, but I feel like in the NBA, you really have to be aggressive because those windows are. I feel like the windows in the NBA are a lot shorter than the windows in the NFL, and the windows in the NFL are short. But these, it's a tough fucking sport. Some of these players, some of these quarterbacks, they need time to like figure this shit out.
No, I 100% agree. And also, I would say too, the NFL owners are not the NBA owners. They do not play any games.
No, but that's the CBA. They just have a tighter CBA.
So we'll see. It's weird too with the but going. You want to talk about quarterback? He doesn't get. It's time he starts getting flack. He doesn't get flack. Mister Coach
Herbert?
of the no. Well, that's another thing. I'll get on him, but no, we're still talking about the Vikings and the 49ers. Shanahan.
Oh, we could talk shit about him. The previews the Bengals 49ers next week. Well, yeah, we can start with why Shanahan doesn't win enough either.
Yeah, he has everything. Everything. And we have nothing to show for it. I won't count last year because last year they lost all 4 of their quarterbacks. But come on, dude. Think about how far he might have set this team back when they traded everything to get Trey Lance and he never really played a game.
Yeah, I feel like they could have waited on more. I don't know.
They got rid of him and they stayed with Brock Purdy. And I mean, and I heard these arguments from all the people saying, is Brock Purdy elite and all that? And I was like, I think he does the job that he is supposed to do.
Exactly.
And that's all you have to do. That is it.
And we kind of like we're seeing like how Brock Purdy looks with like not stack this team.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland in the Cleveland game, Trent Williams gets hurt. He finishes that game, but he doesn't play this week. And then Debo gets hurt, and that really affected him. And then the 49ers on Monday couldn't run the ball. They couldn't get C-Mac going. That affected them. I don't know. Like, we gotta understand what is Brock Purdy? How many starts? We're around like 15 or something.
He had his first 2 regular season start losses this year back to back. These were his first 2.
Right. So we're probably at like 15 starts. So we don't know what Brock Purdy can really do when like the whole team's fucking hurt, and you gotta go out there and make the throws and win some fucking games. And now we're seeing it. Now questions are popping up into our heads. Can the 49ers keep sustaining injuries and people keep dropping like flies for him? Is he going to be able to sustain this ship?
I laugh because sooner or later the conversation will go the same to Jimmy Garoppolo and all that stuff. He does his job, but he doesn't push us over the hump type thing. Because they have everything. I mean, we've said for what? I mean, the 49ers are what I used to say since especially the COVID year and on, what I would say about the Denver Nuggets. They have everything. If everything goes, they will win the title. Denver finally got theirs. Like 49ers, they have everything, man.
Yeah, they had some bad breaks, and then in the Super Bowl, they were in against the Chiefs. Jimmy Garoppolo make that throw.
Hey, well, that one pass, and
Jimmy make that. That was Shanahan's chance, and then the fucking real stinker is when he was OC for the fucking Falcons, and
28-3.
Yeah, that's where he really fucked up.
I'm just saying, it's just like you gotta get done sooner or later because this team won't be constructed forever as well.
Well. You got Brock Purdy starting now, Mr. Irrelevant. He's only on his second year. You still have him tied up for 4 years at like $800,000. So if you feel like he's not the guy, you can keep putting him out there and drafting quarterbacks until you get one. And this draft class right now coming up, it's a good one.
They have a lot. But what would you say too? Because now it's going in the preview because they're playing against the Bengals, and the Bengals are looking like they may have found their groove. If they lose again.
Woo! It's going to get hot in San Francisco. It's going to get hot. I mean, Bengals were on a bye this past week. Burrow had a bye week to get healthier. He looked healthier in that Seahawks game. And then, like we said about the 49ers, the Browns lost. I told you, like, off air when we were talking, like, I knew they were about to lose that game. That was just, like, bad spot, schedule loss, great defense. I knew that one. But yeah, them losing to the 49ers, even with some of the injuries, was a little surprising. The Bengals offense has to show up. The Bengals need this game way more than the 49ers do.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals have to get pressure on the 49ers, and if they can get pressure on them, and I mean, if Trent Williams isn't playing, it's going to be much easier to get pressure on Brock Purdy because Brock Purdy PFF grade with a clean pocket 121 and PFF grade with a actually no passer rating with a clean pocket 121.6 and then passer rating with a under pressure is 77. So if you get pressure on Brock Purdy, he's the average quarterback. If he has time to his guys, then he's elite. So that's what we need to do. I mean, I really think that the 49ers are going to win. I think the Bengals cover, but if if the Bengals offense can move the ball like the Vikings were moving the ball on them, it might be a long afternoon for the 49ers.
At San Francisco as well. The Bengals need this win more though.
They do. They're in last place in their division right now.
Yeah, they need it.
Currently last place.
Put them at 4-3, put the 49ers 5-3. I think after these past two, I think Shanahan, I think he's going to simplify the offense even more for Purdy, get him some nice, just quick screens to CMC, who no one can stop when he's near the red zone.
He's got to run the ball again. Like, if they can get their running game going again, it'll make everything so much easier. That was a lot of the issues on Monday. Is can get the running game going, but no. You know what the Bengals give up 142 rush yards a game, so it might be a good get right spot for them if that's the case. Yeah,
I just think the Bengals. I mean, I think the Bengals can get this one because that last game they play. I know it's not San Francisco, but that last game against Seattle, that defense put the Bengals on their backs and carried that game. If they can play a similar defense like that, they can get San Francisco.
The Bengals do have a good defense. I will say that. And, Debo and Trent Williams don't play. I mean, watch out. Like, the Bengals are a live underdog. They could definitely win this game. Trent Williams is probably the best offensive tackle in the league. And we know what Debo be doing. So
Yes. And he has Brandon Ayuk too, CMC. They're surrounded all over the place.
Ayuk is good. He is.
He's really good. You got the Jags and the Steelers. I would say the
Jags. Our mans.
The Jags, man, they've been quiet for people not paying attention. Like they're a quiet 5-2.
Oh, they started the year off 1-2, and they've been on a four game winning streak.
Quietly.
That's
and then
been in London.
And then this team the Steelers have no business being 4-2, but they are 4-2. This is interesting because this will have. I mean, the Jaguars are still going to win their division, but this is a good AFC matchup. This is tough, man, because that Steelers defense, man. We talked about Myles Garrett earlier, rightfully so, but TJ Watt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you know what, I'm taking the Steelers in this game. I mean, on paper, like Jaguars should whoop their ass.
Yes, they should.
Like, I ain't going to go into the shit that I wrote down. Like, on paper, Jaguars should whoop their ass, but this game is at home. The Steelers are an underdog, and this is where Mike Tomlin strives. He gets his teams ready for these type of games. TJ Watt is on the other side of that line. George Pickens has been picking it up a little bit, no pun intended. Deontay Johnson is back, who really opens things up for the rest of that offense, it seemed like, against the Rams. They were running the ball better. They got 3 touchdowns against the Rams. I like the Steelers in this game.
You know what's crazy? If the Jacksonville loses and the Texans beat Carolina, Texans are only going to be 1 game back. And they already have a win against Jacksonville, if I remember.
They did. They beat them week 1.
Yeah, they beat the hell out of them too. Like that make things interesting.
It definitely will. Yeah, but I'm just rolling with Tomlin on this one. Like, I like Tomlin to get the win, but Trevor Lawrence has been great.
Yeah,
he is really good. He's like one of the top 5 rated quarterbacks on PFF right now. We thought he wasn't going to play last week against the Saints, and he shows up and ruined a lot of niggas' wallets because a lot of people bet on the Saints thinking that motherfucker would not play.
And they got Steelers bye week, then 49ers. And it's kind of crazy once you get past the bye week. Their bye week's week 9. 49ers are week 10. We're already close to double-digit weeks in the NFL.
Yeah, we're only 4 weeks away from Thanksgiving when the real football starts.
Oh, it's going to be do or die for some people. All right, Justin. Who are some winners and losers you got?
Oh, man. Fuck. Well, my winner definitely has to be the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
They are the number one team in DVOA now.
Mm-hmm.
And they got their first statement win. I've been waiting for the Ravens to do this shit all year. They went in. Well, the Browns won. The Browns win was impressive because they lit that defense up, and then this win against the Detroit Lions. I mean, scored on the first 4 possessions of all the drives. Like, it was a great performance. This is what I've been looking for the Ravens. Like, just for them to like take that extra offensive step and not turn the ball over and just fuck around like they have been doing. So good for them. And my loser, who the fuck? Oh, it's the Bills. It's the Bills. How do you lose that game? How do you lose that game against Mac Jones, who has been probably the worst quarterback in the league this year? I don't know. I know they're hurt on defense. Big injuries on all 3 levels of defense, but come on, Sean McDermott. What the fuck are we doing? So, yeah, it's the Bills.
All right. So my winner is kind of similar to yours, but I'm going to broaden it out. My winner is the AFC North because their worst team is the Cincinnati Bengals at 3-3, and that's because they didn't play.
Yep.
Ravens 5-2, Pittsburgh 4-2, Cleveland 4-2. Every team in the AFC North currently is on a 2-game winning streak. They are showing currently right now they're the best division in the NFL because all 4 will not make the playoffs, obviously, but they are making a case that 2 or 3 might get in the AFC playoffs.
I mean, fuck, man. Let me pull up the standings. Hold on. It's not. I mean, it's not going to stay like this, but if it stays the way it has been, then all 4 of those teams might find a way to get in.
Currently, right now, if the playoffs started, Kansas would be the 1 seed, Dolphins 2, Ravens 3, Jaguars 4, Steelers 5, Browns 6, Bills 7.
All right, yeah.
Because the only reason the Bengals aren't in there is because they're 3-3.
All right, so I forgot about the other teams that might from the AFC East might get 2 teams. So that's what threw off my calculus. But fuck, the Chargers haven't been doing the fucking
They
thing.
are terrible.
Yeah, the Chargers have been fucking up. Denver's the fucking disaster. The Raiders disaster. AFC South, Jacksonville's probably going to win it. Houston got a pretty good worker. I think
Houston currently is the team right now on the bubble behind the Bills. Now.
So Houston's in the mix. I mean, the Jets are still that.
Still 3-3.
Yeah, that defense is winning them games, and then you got the Colts. They just lost to Cleveland, but they should have beat Cleveland.
Yes,
they should have won that game.
They should have.
So yeah, some of these AFC South teams might. The Chargers are 14th in the AFC.
The
only teams behind them are the Patriots and the Broncos.
Oh, I don't even know if I wanted to pick them as a loser. Continue.
I already said my winners and losers. Yeah.
Well, who'd you pick for the losers?
My loser was the Bills.
Oh yeah, the Bills. Oh, so it is mine for the. Man, I truly don't understand how the Chargers have all these top defensive players and can't do a damn thing. I don't understand how they have these top offensive players are sitting at 2-4. Do you remember a couple of years, the year the Chiefs, was it just last year, where they won the Super Bowl and everyone's like, oh man, here come the Chargers, Super Bowl contenders. Obviously, they lost that game where they were up by almost 30 to Jacksonville, and they're bad, but I don't even know if I can make. They're just so bad. It's disappointing. It's disappointing when so much talent is bad.
Yeah, the Chargers are fucking cursed. Like, I literally, about a month ago, I watched an hour-long YouTube video going through the whole Chargers franchise since they were in San Diego, since 1960. This has been a theme for them since they have fucking existed. Since they existed. 80s with Dan Fouts and fucking Antonio Gates. 2000s and 2010s with fucking Phillip Rivers and LT and Vincent Jackson and Sean Marion and all those guys. It's been like this. And, this specific iteration of the Chargers, it's the coach. Like, Brandon Staley sucks. I do not understand how this man is still employed. I do not understand. I will have fucking fired him after the Cowboys game because they should have beat us that week. They should have.
Well, he's gonna.
I do not understand how he is still has a job in the NFL because he is not a good coach. Your side of the ball, you're a defensive guy, and the defense sucks. And then in that fucking Chiefs game, the Chiefs weren't doing shit for a long time. That game was 24-17 for a minute. A fucking minute, and they couldn't do anything. It's just, they pissed me off, man.
But another loser, Washington. I don't care how bad your quarterback is. No quarterback is surviving. We're not even halfway through the year, and he's been sacked 40 times.
Yeah, like, they ain't even giving Sam Howell a chance. Because Sam Howell's not that bad. Because I streamed him on fucking fantasy a couple of times. He put up some points for me. So
this ain't a good look on Eric the Enemy, bro. This ain't a good look. You're away from Andy Reid, and this is what we're doing?
I don't know. Yeah. They have to do something with that protection.
Because now he won't even get the job. Rivera's going to get fired. So you won't even get the job because you're probably going to get bounced too.
Yeah, I mean, he might. I don't know. But, yeah, I didn't think they were going to beat the Giants this week, though. It's not that I thought they were going to win or anything. Like, I didn't think they were going to win this game. I had to be my teaser is losing.
He can mess around and get sacked 100 times by the end of this year.
Yeah, I don't know how their offensive line is so bad. Yeah, they gotta do something with that.
Ooh. Anything else, Justin? Oh, the Super Bowl's in Las Vegas this year. It's gonna be a movie.
That'll be a fun Super Bowl. I might have to go to Vegas just to be around.
Oh man! With that being said, thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe. Week 7 recap, Week 8 preview. That means we're going to be back by Week 10, which is crazy to think about. With that being said, L7C podcast signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.